I'm Daniel Hart. I'm 34 years old. 3 months ago, I found a document in a locked drawer that proved the house my mother had been living in for 20 years was never hers. She still doesn't know how long I've known, and the night she found out, that's when everything in my family fell apart. Before I take you back to how this started, do me a quick favor. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is there. I read every single one, and if you've ever felt invisible in your own family, you're going to understand this story more than you want to. Now let me take you back. I'm 14 years old, standing in the hallway outside my parents' bedroom. The door is slightly open. My mom's voice is low, sharp, the kind of voice she uses when she thinks no one's listening. Just sign it, Frank. It's easier this way. My dad doesn't respond right away. I remember that. The silence stretched too long. Then, it's not yours, Linda. It's his. A pause. I'm his mother. And I'm his father, he says. And I'm telling you, the house goes to Daniel. I didn't understand what that meant back then. I just remember the way my mom's tone changed. Cold, controlled. We'll see. The next morning, nobody mentioned it. And I never forgot it. Fast forward 20 years. I'm 34, living in a small apartment across town, working as a systems analyst. Quiet job, stable, predictable. I visit the house every Sunday. Not my house. That's how I always thought of it. My mom's house. Same faded blue siding, same creaky front step, same overgrown hedge she never trims but complains about constantly. I still have a key. Not because I live there, because she needs things. Daniel, can you fix the sink? Daniel, the Wi-Fi's acting up. Daniel, I need groceries. I always say yes, not because I want to, because that's just how it's always been. Every Sunday, same routine. I walk in. She barely looks up from the TV. You're late. No hello, no how are you, just a task waiting. One afternoon, I'm kneeling under the kitchen sink fixing a leak when she says, "While you're here, the garage door's been making that noise again." I stop. My hands are wet. My back hurts. I've been there 2 hours already. Okay, I say, because I always say okay, but something in me shifts just a little. A week later, I cancel plans with a friend to help her organize the basement. Again. We're going through old boxes when I find it. A metal lockbox, small, gray, tucked behind a stack of old tax returns. Don't worry about that, my mom says quickly. Too quickly. I pause. Why is it locked? Just paperwork, she says. Nothing you need. Nothing you need. That phrase sits wrong, but I don't push. Not yet. That night, I can't stop thinking about it. The way she said it. The way she looked at me. Like I wasn't supposed to know something. And suddenly, I remember the hallway. The voices. My dad saying, "It goes to Daniel." For the first time in years, I start asking a question I've never asked before. What if? This isn't her house. The next Sunday, I come back early. She's not home. Doctor's appointment. I know her schedule. I always have. The house is quiet. I go straight to the basement. The lockbox is still there. I stare at it for a long time. Then I do something I've never done before. I open it. It takes me 12 minutes. Small screwdriver, steady hands. The lock pops. Inside there are documents, neatly stacked, organized, old papers, legal forms, titles, and then I see it. Property deed. I pull it out. My name is on it. Daniel Hart, owner. Since 2004. I read it again, and again, and again. My dad died in 2004. I sit on the basement floor for I don't know how long. The house, this house, the one I've been fixing, maintaining, paying for repairs on for years, legally belongs to me, and my mom knows it. She's known it this entire time, but here's the part that changes everything. There are more papers, bank statements, utility bills, all under her name, all paid by me. Because every time something broke, every time there was a bill she couldn't handle, I stepped in, not as the owner, as the help. I put everything back exactly how I found it. Lockbox closed, hidden, untouched. When my mom gets home, I'm sitting on the couch like nothing happened. You're early, she says. I had time. She nods. Good. The gutters need cleaning. I look at her, really look at her, and for the first time in my life, I don't see my mother. I see someone who's been lying to me for 20 years. I don't confront her, not then. That would have been too easy, too emotional, too impulsive. Instead, I do something else. I start documenting everything, every visit, every request, every expense. I create a spreadsheet, dates, tasks, money spent, gutters, plumbing, roof repair, property taxes, yes, property taxes paid by me, under her direction, because she didn't understand the forms. Over 6 months, I track it all. Total, $38,642. My money, my house, her control. But the real realization doesn't come from the money. It comes from the pattern. I scroll through the spreadsheet one night and notice something. Every single entry is about her, not one about me. Not one time she asked how I was. Not one time she did something for me. 20 years. And I've just been maintenance. That's when I decide. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to yell. I'm going to show her. My mom's 60th birthday is coming up. She's planning a party. Big one. Inviting family, neighbors, church friends. Make sure you're there early, she tells me. I need help setting up. Of course you do, I smile. Wouldn't miss it. Over the next 2 weeks, I prepare something. Carefully, precisely. I print every document, the deed, the financial records, the spreadsheet. I organize them into a folder, clean, structured, undeniable. On top, one single sheet of paper, one sentence. This house has always been mine. The day of the party arrives. The house is full, laughter, music, people everywhere. My mom is glowing, playing host, telling stories, accepting compliments like she built this life herself. I watch from the corner, quiet, waiting. At 7:15 p.m., she taps her glass. Can I have everyone's attention? The room quiets. She smiles. I just want to say how grateful I am to have such a beautiful home and to share it with all of you. I feel it. That moment. The one where everything shifts. I walk forward, slow, calm. Mom, I say. She looks at me, surprised. Yes? I think there's something you forgot to mention. The room goes still. She laughs nervously. What are you talking about? I set the folder on the table. Open it. She hesitates. Then she does. First page. Her smile fades. Second page. Her hands start to shake. Third page. The room is silent. Someone whispers, "What is it?" She looks up at me. "What is this?" I don't raise my voice. I don't need to. It's the truth. People start reading over her shoulder. The deed, my name, the dates, the records, the money, everything. Out in the open. No explanation needed. My aunt is the first to speak. Linda, is this real? My mom opens her mouth, closes it. She looks around the room, at the people she's been telling stories to for years, at the house she claimed as hers, and for the first time, she has nothing to say. The room fractures, questions, whispers, side conversations. How long has this been? Why would you? Daniel paid for all this. My mom turns to me. You did this on my birthday? I hold her gaze. No, you did this 20 years ago. People start leaving, not dramatically, quietly. The kind of quiet that hurts more than shouting. One by one, the room empties until it's just us. She sits down, slowly. I raised you, she says. I nod. Yes, you did. And this is how you repay me? I take a breath, careful, measured. I spent 20 years maintaining a house I owned, while being treated like I didn't belong in it. She looks away. I didn't think you'd understand. I didn't know, I say. That's the difference. We sit in silence, long, heavy. Then she says something I don't expect. I didn't know how to let go. That lands, not as an excuse, but as something real. I don't forgive her that night. That's not how this works, but I also don't explode. I don't need to, because for the first time, she sees it. I moved into the house 2 months later, not aggressively, not by force, just gradually. She moved into a smaller place across town. We don't talk every day, but when we do, it's different. Careful, respectful, real. Sometimes I stand in the kitchen, the same one I fixed 100 times, and I think about that 14-year-old kid in the hallway, listening, not understanding, waiting. If you're the person in your family who always shows up, who fixes everything, who carries responsibilities that were never really yours, ask yourself something. If you stopped, would anyone notice? Or would they just notice what stopped working? I'm Daniel Hart. I'm 34 years old, and I didn't lose my family. I just stopped being invisible inside it. If this story felt a little too familiar, you already know why.